Kiss my ass.
Hi. Welcome to the Toolbox. I'm Kevin O'Malley, my life partner, Sean McNutbag.
Yeah.
How are you, folks? Great to be here. Why? Because it's Thursday. I know it's a short week, but give me a fucking break. I'm 106. And I get back problems now. Motherfucker, I've never had a back. I've pulled a muscle here and there, working at whatever the fuck. This is spinal tap. I go to get it. And again, it was nothing. I didn't make a sudden move while I was working. None of that. I was a little stiff one morning. And all of a sudden, I was like playing my guitar. I go to get up, and if I get a pain, I go down to my knee. I go down to my knee. I'm seeing little dots. I mean, searing pain. And since then, and that was a couple weeks ago, of course, you know, chiropractor. I go, yes, some people, I don't know. Now I'm so desperate, you know. I'll go to a witch doctor with a bone through her nose because, oh my God.
Oh, we're in Savannah.
It feels good when I'm laying down completely, you know, on my back, prone or whatever, or standing up. But in between, like, again, I sit on something soft, I'm reading, and I go to fucking get up, and it brings me to my knee. Fucking eyes start watering. My father had a back that would put him on the couch for a week. I mean, and I'm walking sort of like him a little bit. So what I'm saying, I had a good time here.
Beginning of the end.
Yeah. As I leave this mortal coil. Shakespeare. Either that or Soupy Sales, comedian from the 60s. I'm fucking digging it, man. I don't know how much I'll retain, but according to the first 3 Jeopardy shows, about 10% of it. But I'm actually answering questions. I go, Nabokov, he did Lolita, fucking Dumas, Hugo, and Pygmalion, George Bernard Shaw. My wife's looking at me. These came up, and I got them.
So somebody asked what the book was called again, so they want the title of what you're reading.
Yeah. Which book?
The Shakespeare one.
Oh, it's one of those, you know, fucking yellow idiots. You know what I mean? Fucking Shakespeare for idiots or whatever. It's about 375 pages, and I'm telling you, it is, again, they try to teach you this shit when all you're interested in the girl's tits in front of you. I want to hear about Othello? What the fuck? Look at the snatch on Diane Keep. Wait, that's a real person. Diane Ladd. Fuck. I'm naming all real people. Dave Frost. No, yes, it's great. And another book, the other book was called I Know My Classics. Matter of fact, I have a picture. I took a picture of the book, and that's about 400 pages that I ripped through. It gives you synopsis of all. This guy, it's the top 100, in his opinion, greatest books ever written. And, you know, most people agree on the ones he lists. A lot of them I had heard of. A lot of them I had not. But it gives you the author. It summarizes what the book's about, the main characters. And I get so pissed. I'm watching Jeopardy. I go, motherfucker, I went to college. I go, how was I not exposed to any Greek mythology, even in high school? I mean, I tore my Achilles, but that doesn't count. Somebody goes, yeah, that's from a Greek. Whatever, I can't play this week. Fuck off. So whatever. Anyways, yeah, so it's one of those... I have a joke about that, those books, you know, math for idiots, whatever. And I'm like, there's one called, the fucking Idiot's Guide to People with Low Self-Esteem. You know, there you go. Look at the producer producing. Thank you. I thought you didn't know where the buttons were. Yeah, that's the one. That's a great one. And my wife was shocked. After I read it, she's going, who did, Les Mis? Hugo. She was like, fucking what? I go, yeah. Whatever. Robinson Crusoe. Defoe. They came up. I told her we watched 1,000 Jeopardies, and like 4 of them came up, and I nailed them. And then there were a couple I just froze. And now when the subject comes up, like literature, I go, no. This will prove I'm full of shit. Anyways, let's move on to my Bruins, by the way. Oh, I've been watching the Bruins for a lot of years. I never seen a season go from, I mean, the last 2 years, they were arguably the most dominant team in hockey. Excuse me, 2 years ago, they set a record for the best record in the history of hockey. 135 points they had at the end of the year. They have 69 right now with about 10 games to go. And everybody's fucking hurt. They did all those trades because they have to start over. They blew up the team. Even the good guys that stayed are hurt right now. They're on a road trip, right? They've lost 7 in a row. And they've been on the road for the last week and a half. They've lost the first 4 out of 5 road trips. And I mean blown out. So they dropped 7. I don't think since I was a kid I've ever seen the Bruins lose 7 games in a row. And they're not going to, you know how hard it is to not make the playoffs in hockey, folks? Honest to God. It's very weird to watch, but it's also exciting because I want to see all these draft picks and all these trades. It's pretty friggin' cool. That's about it. I wasted 7 minutes. Let's get to the fucking show. Here's a quick video that I saw that, to me, typifies the liberal mind at work. And you know, the people that we hate the most, when you say far left, it's the real liberal people who think their shit doesn't stink. It's mostly a lot of white women. I mean, yes, there's a lot of highly educated white guys that fall for this garbage too. But white women who aren't educated think they know better. These housewives from the suburbs. And they have swallowed all the poison that CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, New York Times has been shoving down their throat for the last 25. You can tell they were weaned on it. Just listen. I guess this is a Women's March thing a couple days ago. Remember it was International Women's Day? Like everybody gave a fuck. But just what? And the guy interviewing does this for a living. He played these girls. He didn't even have to play them. They're so stupid. But listen to the circular. It's not even logic. It's all emotion driven. They don't even know what they're defending. And he just goes, really? So, he just watch it. It speaks for itself.
What does this sign mean to you?
You know, black women are probably the least respected in America. Their voices aren't heard.
Really? Kamala Harris said she was black. First vice president, whatever the fuck. Right now we got that Jasmine Crockett who's doing more TV than Dave Lindell with his pillows. Every time she fucking put on the TV, she's effing this and that. Almost every major blue city has a black police commissioner woman, tons of black judges. Look at all the attorney generals who are all racist. The Letitia James of the world. So they're wrong on that alone. Black women have never had it better. They're put in these positions where they're not even qualified, by the way. And they're proving that. Some of them step down later on. But are you shitting me? They have never been listened to more. And I told Dallas, we're stuck in this, it's called lagging. All that politically correct DEI shit. You got to remember, people got jobs and stuff and signed contracts. It's going to take a few years to filter all them out before you put real people in there. And when I say real people, I mean maybe another black woman who's really qualified, or an Asian, or a white, or whatever. But listen to this.
Aren't paid attention to. Many white women look beyond their own personal interests and they leave black women out of the conversation. And I think America needs to change about that.
What are we not trusting them to do right now?
How to care for our country, how to care for each other, how to stand up and fight for things that aren't right.
Dallas, you're keeping black women from caring for each other. Actually, you got a point. Because they don't care for each other. They get a check from the government to replace daddy. And guess what? That was your side. You stupid bitch with a nipple hat. Go ahead.
Right.
Millions of black women voted for Trump. Should we trust them?
Doing. Look at.
I'll take your hand in mine.
I don't think that's true. Millions of black women voted for Trump?
Way too many. Way too many. It is.
Should we trust them?
Look at.
I don't know.
Maybe not trust black women then.
That's not true. I do trust black women.
Pause. Look at, she's contradicting herself. Her instinct, just because he said so we shouldn't, something negative about black women, her knee-jerk reaction, even though it makes no fucking sense, there's no logic involved, is to jump back and defend after he just made a great point.
Uh-oh, retard alert.
Oh, my God.
Retard alert.
Go ahead.
for Kamala Harris?
I think. He wants to know if I trust the black women who voted for
Look,
Trump.
pause. This reminded me of that scene in A Few Good Men when the white kid's on the stand at the end and his black buddy, Hal? Hal? Answer the question, so Hal? Hal's like, you dumb redneck motherfucker. Of course, he was the bright, smart one in the military, the black guy. And, fucking. Anyways, go ahead.
I think they voted against their own interests, so it's really hard to put the idea of trust together with someone who is continuing to vote against themselves, right?
No,
So it
that's
sounds
not
like they don't have
right.
very good judgment.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's not having good judgment. I don't think they necessarily connect the dots, and I do.
Watch this.
They're stupid.
No, they're not stupid, but I think it's.
No, I'm just asking.
Look at her. She
Because-
jumps in. You said,
But it is hard to trust people who are stupid and have bad judgment, right? And black women who vote for Trump are stupid and have bad judgment.
Oh, we did not say that.
pause.
Nope.
Then what are you saying? What the fuck are you? You're saying nothing. You're out there to get on camera because you want to. Look, I care. That's where it ends. And that's what the Democrat Party has been built on for the last fucking 70 years. Nothing but emotional horseshit and inclusivity and all this horseshit to make themselves feel great. And guess what? Trump came in and blew it the fuck up. And you know what? Black women voted for Trump. Millions of them. Okay? Explain that. They don't even like you. They call you Karens. Right now, I'm leaning with Letitia. At least Jasmine Crockett, we can badmouth her. At least she's out there fucking talking shit and showing that she's a street hoe. I wouldn't let her touch my dick with a fucking pair of pliers. Well, maybe. What? Cut. Hey, we got to get that. I forget what it was. What was the plan we had? Yeah, we'll talk about it after. But we got to do that. It was funny. Go ahead.
I think they don't connect. They don't connect the dots, and so they're looking at only certain things and thinking that's important.
Pause.
And not
There's the white woman thinking for the black woman. Do you hear? That's racist. Can you imagine a white woman conservative going, yeah, they're not connecting the dots. They would go, are you calling them stupid, you racist piece of shit? They are blind to their own. They're the racist. They patronize black people. They always have. The, what was it called? The soft bigotry of low expectations, I think George W. Bush said. This is what you're watching it. Go ahead.
connecting the dots.
It sounds like those black women need to be educated by white women like you.
Yeah, not.
True. Not.
They just need a good white woman to come in and tell them what's up.
You're putting words in our mouths again, and you're trading it.
How about
Sorry,
a
I
dick?
don't mean to do that.
This idea that white people are going to be the white saviors f***ing pisses me off.
But if white women like you don't educate them, how are they ever going to learn to vote the way that they're supposed to vote?
You know, as a white woman, I'm happy to help educate and talk to people, but it's not my job to go convince somebody else.
I hope you're able to get through to some of those untrustworthy, stupid black women. Good luck.
That guy? How beautiful was that?
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert!
Oh my God, he couldn't have played that better. Because that's what they were saying. But it's not about that. It's about making themselves feel. Look, I'm out there making a difference. I couldn't take my eyes on that, off that. That should be shown in every school. You guys like to indoctrinate? Start in first grade and explain it. Okay, maybe sixth grade. Start in sixth grade and go, look, this is what the Democrats and your parents in the suburbs have been voting for. And then break it down for them like I just did. Anyways, that made me hard, and I got two nuts off. Let's move on to the Great Walz, W-A-L-Z, of China. Wish there were two walls. It would have been funnier. On the 1300 block of North, I should know this, Eustis Street in St. Paul, Minnesota, a 10-minute drive from the governor's mansion, that would be Governor Tim Walz, by the way, sits a brutalist, by the way, I knew this, I learned this a long time ago. It's a type of architecture that looks like your dentist office, apparently. Dallas explained to me, that's what brutalist architecture is. A brick building that houses a secret Chinese Communist Party, that's CCP, front operation that serves several functions for the CCP. None of them good for the United States, of course.
我们之前说过91号
See, he's
是
even
谁
admitting
手
it.
上有
Not too much starch. Out of this building, CCP operatives curry favor with politicians like Governor Tim Walz and Amy Klobuchar, two Minnesota douchebags, and provide various service for Chinese Americans in Minnesota who are still loyal to Beijing. It is also the home of the Overseas Chinese Service Center of Minnesota, that's OCSC, which apparently works under the umbrella of the CCP's United Front. Even Chinese dictator Xi Jinping, and I'll repeat that, dictator Xi Jinping, the one that Waltz blows so much and loves, describes United Front work as one of the CCP's, and I quote, magic weapons that helps undermine the sovereignty and integrity of the political system of targeted states, as in the United States. Okay, that's him talking. Oh my God.
拜登之子亨特·拜登
Former CIA counterintelligence analyst Peter Mattis says United Front work, in quotes, damages U.S. interests through legal and illegal technology transfer, surveillance of Chinese diaspora communities, promotion of favorable narratives about the PRC through ostensibly independent voices, but they're really not, and the neutralization or harassment of critics of the CCP. So they have like secret police over here. Keeping an eye on Chinese people who moved here, who became, even if they're naturalized citizens, who say bad shit about China. And while they're doing that, Swalwell's banging their spies and driving Dianne Feinstein to work. Remember the CCP Ministry of Public Security's United Front work includes operating secret overseas police stations on U.S. soil. We talked about this on the show probably a year ago. About in Chinatown in New York, they busted a secret Chinese police station. Deputy Counsel General Yu Peng, Propaganda Chief Deng King, Xing Deng, and others shared a stage with the gubernatorial candidate Tim Walz less than 6 weeks before Election Day on 2018. Are you hearing that? Upon winning election, that's Governor-elect Walz invited Consul General Liu Jun to the inauguration ceremony. Okay? And you didn't hear shit about it, even in 2018. And then he was up for vice president. And did any of the left-wing mainstream media, did any of you do your homework? You probably did, but you're like, we're not putting that out there. You know what I mean? Here he is. This guy actually got in a fight with Waltz over the phone.
I kill you right now.
Kill me. I'm right here. Kill me.
Okay, I come with two chopsticks. I shove up your ass.
Two chopsticks? Come over here. Talk to me in the face.
Like a somebody.
Oh.
And then they made up and sang karaoke.
I'm sorry. That's right. Here he is about to belt out Whitney Houston's. Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. The Asian guys, again, the Japanese love the karaoke, but so do the Chinamen. I've seen it. I saw a guy doing Sweet Caroline. Rui, Rui. Rui, Rui. The head of the Minnesota OCSC is a man who goes by the name of Bingwen Yang, Ph.D. Dr. Yan and his associates have embedded themselves in the political circles in Minnesota. Yan is a recent political donor to Governor Walz, Senator Amy Klobuchar in 2020. She was a 2020 Democratic presidential candidate. And Andrew Yang. Remember Andrew Yang, the Asian guy that ran for president, never wore the tie? Who was pretty good, but I mean, okay? And again, where were you guys? Right now you're flipping out about a mistake in a chat room and, the Trump administration, Hegseth's not fit for his job, and all this shit. All of a sudden you're real high in security. Meanwhile, we didn't know who was running the country for the last 4 years. Not to mention a million other things we could call you on. The disaster leaving, Afghanistan. So shut the fuck up is my point. Anyways, boys and girls, I will be doing stand-up comedy next month, April 25th at the Cohoes Music Hall, and then May 15th and 16th. I can't wait for this one, too. And Cohoes is a killer theater. Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois. The name doesn't do it justice. It's a beautiful comedy room. And Chicago, and people ask me, Chicago, and I'd have to say Salt Lake City are my two favorite places to do comedy. Chicago never lets me down. They're in it 100%. They love the shit that comes out of my filthy mouth. Hey, if you guys want to support the show, send me $1,000 tonight in one of your mugs. No, go to the merchandise page and pick up look at the Nick DiPaolo cummerbunds. Kids, those will look good at the prom. Then you got bottles you can assault your date with. What? Nick DiPaolo? Was that a water bottle? There's the Nick DiPaolo water bottle? My wife comes to bed with a different T-shirt on every night. Joe Rogan, Chappelle. What the fuck? No. So buy something, will you? I'm poor. NickDip.com. You guys can watch full episodes of my show, by the way. Louder with Crowder and all exclusive Rumble content. You can watch it ad-free with one subscription. So join Rumble Premium and enter promo code MUGCLUB to get $10 off an annual subscription. They're putting together a lineup that'll live stream all day, right? With Crowder, one show leads into the next. So it'd be like if you're a Fox News fan and you can watch one show lead. They're trying to put that together. All A-list, huge names on the internet and stuff. So keep an eye on that. That's fucking huge.
Hi, good night, everybody.